stop me, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable.
I am unbeatable. Minutes on the score. Every time they want to clash, the winners kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stock, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah.
Good evening and welcome to the British Basketball League live on Sky Sports and across the USA. As the playoffs fast approach tonight, we are featuring two teams locked on the same number of wins, both vying for seeding supremacy. This season, the series of championship matchups between the Sheffield Sharks and the Surrey Scorchers have been electrifying, enthralling, and eventful. Game one was an overtime thriller. Clutch performances from Jalen Pipkins and Deverell Ramsey helped the Sharks to a tough road victory in Surrey by just 3 points. Game two was just as tense with an identical outcome, a 3-point win for the Sharks. Josh Steele hit 2 3-pointers late into the fourth, but failed to knock down a third to take the game to overtime.
Yeah.
After 2 tied games going the way of the Sharks, Game 3 was hotly anticipated, and it didn't disappoint. As tempers flared, Surrey managed to hold off a rampant fourth-quarter comeback from the Sharks. Saquon Jamison's monstrous double, stirring the Scorchers to a 7-point win. Will Sheffield's Cannon Medical Arena host another stone-cold classic tonight? The Sharks arrive in poor form, having lost 5 out of their last 6. They need a big win tonight, otherwise their opposition will leapfrog them into 6th position. Atiba Lyons is coaching in his 500th championship game tonight and will be desperate for an historic win. Surrey's timing couldn't be better. They have won 4 out of their last 5 as Coach Lloyd Gardner engineers a pitch-perfect playoff run-in. These teams may be evenly matched, but all the momentum is with the men from Surrey. I'm Todd Harris, and it's Bring a Boss Thursday as Leicester writer Kimball McKenzie has brought along his gaffer, head coach Rob Paternostro. Rob, before we get going, let's talk about your captain and what he does for you on the floor.
Oh, yeah, he's a floor general out there, makes big plays when you need it, but it's not just games, it's practice, a real leader day in and day out. He brings it every single day.
And Kimball, everyone wants to know, who is the super fan? You got this guy on payroll?
Yeah, listen, it originated a couple years ago. Somebody spotted him up in the crowd, and then from then it's gotten a little bit more ridiculous every time I look up. The cape has come out. He's got the goggles. Now he's carrying around the big head. He's awesome.
You know you've arrived when you've got a super fan that attends all your games. 2 different styles of play tonight, Kimball. We've got Surrey and Sheffield, maybe heading in different directions right now, but they can both bring it when they're on.
Definitely, yeah. Sheffield plays a little bit of a slower pace. They like to throw the ball inside a lot. And then Surrey, the complete opposite, right? They like to get up and down, shoot a lot of threes. They put you in a lot of tough spots with the pick and roll, so it should be a good matchup.
Coach Rob, take us through the starting lineup first for Sheffield.
Yeah, when you look at this starting lineup, they're unique in the sense they have 2 guys up front that can post up. Bennett Cook, we've seen him do it for years, but now with Malik Green, that's 2 tough guys to guard down there. But Idle Rock's been a real stabilizer in there. Coach Lyons talked to him today. He said his decision-making has been very valuable to their team on both ends of the floor.
Kimball, you know the Surrey Scorchers well. Take us through their starting 5.
Yeah, Justin Robinson out. Obviously an important piece for them. 2-time MVP of the league. Great 3-point shooter. So here we go with Steele. Good shooter from the outside. Jamison, their junkyard dog, doing it all. Patty at Wang, Mr. Electric. Muhammad, rebounding, making plays. And then Gooden in the lineup, hopefully running the show.
All right, thanks a lot. Well, you guys work well together, by the way. Some future there. Now time to speak to another floor general. It's Shark Week with Drew Lasker.
I've got good news. Jalen Pipkins is back 100% healthy. What does that mean? We're going to see the old him early in the season where he had that wiggle, that elusiveness, the ability to dart through the defense. And you know about that athleticism when he's inside the paint. He's warming up right now, making sure that back's right. But what's been great so season is to see the homegrown talent back in this country. RJ Idle right here. Let me get out your way, big fella. Go to work. This is what you're going to see him do all night long. The best shooter on this team from beyond the arc, but he can do more than that as well. Off the ball, look for his backside cuts, and you can tell his confidence is there because he's working on the low block now. And if they're going to get this dub tonight, they're going to have to beat the analytics. They're going to need his three ball to be working here tonight.
Thank you much, Drew. Jalen Pipkins, a spectacular player, an all-star, also be competing in the dunk challenge, Coach. He brings a lot to the table, and if you're going against him, he's a handful.
He is. Now he's coming off the bench. He can bring a real spark from there. Last 3 games, 60% in 21 minutes per game. And we've seen him time and time again get to the basket. What I like about him here, he can change the shot in midair, hangs up in the air. But we know that he has something special at times. And if you're late, he'll bang it on you. And that's what he does. He's exciting. We're looking forward to some of that in the All-Star game. Also gets out in the open floor with steals.
Yeah, Pipkins is important for this team. They like to play a slower pace, that move the ball side to side. He's one of those players that can really slash into the paint, be dynamic for them, play on the break. So look for him to have a good game.
As Drew mentioned, the big fella RJ Adelrock's form has skyrocketed, culminated in that GB International selection. What part of his game has improved, Kimball?
Yeah, his confidence, right? You can tell he's out there playing with confidence, playing at his own pace, making shots for them. I think that's important. Like I said, making shots, moving around. He's a crafty player, not necessarily someone who's going to blast past you with speed, but here you see with the Euro step, crafty, and playing well.
Yeah, and what I like about him is he takes his time. He's not in a rush, and I know Coach Lyons likes it because last 3 games, 28 minutes per game, second on the team. That tells me that the coach trusts him on both ends of the floor.
Well, by the end of this weekend, Coach Rob Paternostro will join a very exclusive club. He will have coached 500 championship games. Only 2 other people have reached that incredible milestone, Fab Flournoy and Paul James. But tonight, that group accepts another inductee. Atiba Lyons is a certified legend of the modern game. He has been at Sheffield for over 15 years, and in that time, he has won multiple titles. His longevity and loyalty are an inspiration. Atiba Lyons, we salute you. We're back after this short break. Welcome back to British Basketball League live on Sky Sports and across the USA. Tip-off in this crucial encounter between the Sheffield Sharks and the Surrey Scorchers is just minutes away. Before that, let's check in with our man on the floor. Drew Lasker is feeling the heat from the Scorchers.
Scorchers are hot and playing their best basketball of the season. Why? Saquon Jamison right here. He gives his team balance. This is why they're able to shoot so many threes, because he does his work in the paint. He's a rebound king, a bully on the boards. He's a tough defender, and he's doing everything this team can ask for. But if they do need a bucket, it ain't no thing. They just give the ball to Padilla Wang. Let's find him. Where is he? Right over here, warming up, dancing, getting loose, working his ball screen action right here. And what I love is his growth this year. He's taking better care of the basketball. And although his shot is still a work in progress, he hits timely shots. And with sixth place right there up for grabs, I look for these two players to answer the bell.
Thank you, Drew. Patty Wang is another extravagant player we're looking forward to seeing in the All-Star game. That's next Sunday. But his game is more than just drives and dunks, isn't it, McKenzie?
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, we saw last time out, he was passing the ball really well. We know what Patty can do. When you're scouting him, the first thing you got to worry about is him slashing and getting to the paint. But here you see, no look, boom. Puts a lot of pressure on your defense, can get into that paint, and here you see him dropping it off to Jamison. He had a lot of good passes. So look for him to play make, look for him to get into that paint and help their offense.
Yeah, and he get out in the open floor, and we've seen him take off time and time again. Fly away right here with the dunk. It'll be interesting to see how they play him tonight. 1 for 10 from 3 in his last 3. They got to keep him on in the paint. Will they sag off?
That's Mr. McKenzie, if anyone's taking home. Thank you, Kimball. Saquon Jamison's got Player of the Week game last week against Bristol. He performs well at both ends of the floor, doesn't he, Coach?
Oh, he does, and he is a guy that we know could rebound. The last 3 games on the offensive glass, he has 15 offensive rebound. That's 5 a game. But what he does is use his lower body well. Gets inside and carves space for himself. He's also a good roll man, and with all the shooters that they put out on the floor, teams don't want to come over and guard him, so he's tough in that role as well.
Yeah, he's their grinder. I mean, he takes care of the glass when these guys are missing threes. He's all over it. He's sending his shot out of bounds there, so he does it all for them. He's their toughness, he's their inside presence, and he's been great.
Kimball, I think you referred to him as the JYD, the junkyard dog.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I mean, look, player back for the Raptors. That was my team back in the day, and that's what he is. He's physical, he's strong, and yeah, he's very mobile for a big, which is important.
JYD. Let's check in with the coaches now. They've been talking to our JYD, Drew Lasker.
Coach, I remember when you got announced for this job. 500 games later, sum up this ride for us.
It's a fantastic voyage, best way to put it. You know, unexpected. It's been a lot of twists and turns, but it's been a great ride with some great people.
Coach, you guys been in great form as of late. What's been the difference?
I just think time together, to be honest. Felt there was some residue from last season, to be honest with you. Obviously disappointing to lose a lot of games last year. And I think we've just learned how to win together, learned how to play together. Guys have got familiar with the roles now. And, I just think we're in a good place at the moment.
And during the week, during your prep, what did you talk to your team about limiting Surrey's threes?
It was a short week, so we didn't do too much prep as far as really break down stuff. But we know what we have to do against them. We played them a few times now, so we're comfortable with their personnel. Just got to go out there and execute.
They're always a good defensive team. So, we've talked about that, try to look at spacing and how we can exploit some of their rotations defensively. I think at the moment they're in a bit of transition. Probably, at the moment is tempo control. I think they're a team that's trying to play a bit quicker, trying to get out in the open floor. It's been helping their offense a lot. So, hopefully we can slow them down again, make them a more half-court team.
Moments away from tip-off. This should be a good one in Sheffield. Coach, who do you like and why?
Well, I'll go with the Sharks. 10-4 at home this year in all competitions, and we saw last week how good they play in their arena.
Cap McKenzie, you going against Coach?
No, I'm going to have to agree with them. They're at home. Surrey is down Justin Robinson, one of their leaders. So I look for this Sheffield team to be desperate, to be physical, and they're at home. Got to go with them.
When we come back, Dan Routledge and the Queen, Xenia Stewart, have the call when we return to Sheffield.
Well, welcome back to Sheffield. Big game in town tonight, Azania. Two teams locked on the same number of wins. Whoever wins this game will finish the night in 6th. And if that's Surrey, that would be a great move for them to get into the top 6.
And I really think Surrey's going to win here. Sheffield plays fantastic at home. But the boys in the studio said the Sharks are going to do it at home. Well, I'm going to be the one to spoil the party with Surrey.
Well, Lloyd Gardner will be hoping you're right come the end of the night. It has been 4 years since Surrey were as high as 7th in the table, so a real opportunity for them. But Sheffield been a very Jekyll and Hyde team this season. Excellent at home, not so great on the road. They'll be hoping to keep that one going. Keys to the game, you think, Azania? Where are you going with this one?
Well, I really liked what Coach Gardner talked about. Talked about spacing, way to exploit, you know, Sheffield. But Sheffield's known for their defense. What are they going to do with Surrey's 3-pointers? Obviously, they're the highest attempt makers in the league, but what do you do to defend that? Do you run them off the 3-point line? Where do you get, where do you stop them?
Well, it's interesting because we have seen in the last couple of weeks Sheffield almost changing their style a little bit. We saw against Rob and Kimball a few weeks ago where they had monster first half and put up a pretty big number in the game. Do they revert to type at home, or do they try and go up and down with this Surrey team? We will find out as we get underway. Sheffield with the opening possession of the ball game. Here's Eitel Rock looking for some options.
They always start down low, but
Jameson, Jameson did a good job there.
Pushing him out. They always start their offense with the big man.
Well, and it's sort of discombobulated them because Gooden has forced a turnover. First stop for him since January in the trophy with Robinson out injured. Well, he needs to go up, Jameson. They go inside. He doesn't win that battle this time. Here's Cook looking for options. Well, they don't quite seem in rhythm here first couple of plays, Sheffield. Well, that's one way. Just get a talent move to the hole for 2 from Eitel Rock.
Kempe spoke about that. He's not the fastest, but he just gets himself going as long lead steps to the rim.
There's Cook on the trail. Eitel Rock on the 3-point line. Now Cook has it down low. Double team comes, so he feeds it out to Eitel Rock, and you can't really help off him.
And way to capitalize. Still helped off him. Strong side to double down into Cook. That's not what you want. Wide open 3. Good job by him knocking it down. First 5 points for that man there.
Well, turnover there by the Scorchers through the hands of Wang. And a suboptimal start, you would say, for the Scorchers here. Not really got anything much to show for the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, talk about Sheffield playing so well at home. They're 10-4 at home. And they've started the game fantastic.
Ramsey kicks out to Eitel Rock, tries his luck for another 3. Halfway down, Green on the offensive glass, giving Jameson a taste of his own medicine.
Yeah, and if they don't score here, I can see Gardner calling a timeout very soon.
Gooden gets into the key. He has to step back because Cook is there, but he gets them on the board.
Yeah. Good step back to get that separation from Cook.
Tough to shoot over Bennett Cook because he is long. Those long arms make it difficult, but good and able to do it that time. Here's Green down on the low block. Rob Paternoster was talking about that in the pre-game, how we think about them going to Bennett Cook as they have done over a number of years, but since Green has come in, he shows what he can do down on that low block as well.
Yeah, he's been impressive, you know, really slotted very well into their offense. Been here a couple of weeks now and got himself going. 21 points. versus Cheshire with 8 rebounds. Does it all on both ends. Strong, you know, and he's also very, what do we say, he's quite confident, you know, very confident. And it's so difficult to come mid-season and slot into a team smoothly. He's done really well.
Well, they do have size to take advantage of. Misses the free throws, but the rebound comes all the way out to him. Sorry, not the biggest team, certainly not with this lineup out there. And here's Green trying to take advantage of it. His pass is not great. Shot clock getting low here. Needs to go up from Ramsey. Gets it away and can't convert. Jamison with the rebound.
Tough defense by Surrey there.
It's Jamison. Kicks it cross court to Wang. A lot of space in the corner for Mohammed for 3, and he knocks it down. Abdul Mohammed. I think his three-point shooting has been going up in recent weeks. He seems to be making more than he was early in the season.
Well, when he doesn't rush and his feet are set, that was wide open. They're really closing the paint, Sheffield.
Now, you talked about how important their three-point shooting is to their offense, sorry. Nice attack from Eichel. This is very much a three-point team against a two-point team.
Yeah, or against Eitel Rock right now, who's on fire.
Mohammed with the head fake. Out to good. An extra pass. Steele in the corner. Those are the shots they look for, sorry. Steele couldn't knock it down. Bretino. Front iron on that, and they'll let that one go out of bounds for a Surrey possession.
Eitel Rock, I read a really lovely article on his move. Just about how his mum was a coach and got him into basketball. That was a lovely story. It's a 25-year-old rookie season. He's been with all the underage England teams.
Wang going back door, nearly jammed it in. But yeah, it is, as you say, the shot clock didn't reset on that, and it did actually hit the rim, so it should have reset.
Yeah, to get out of that quickly, because I thought that was going to be a highlight play, but just jams the ball.
But as you said about Eitel Rock, he really found his feet very early in his British Basketball League career. First month of the season, he was leading the league in three-point percentage.
Yeah, he was.
And really has been an important part of this Sheffield team, particularly when he came back from injury and into the starters. The Steele goes to the rim for 2.
Really nice left-hand layup from Steele. And we're seeing more and more of that from Steele. Obviously, he can shoot the 3. But likes to get to the rim.
Ramsey. Eitel Rock. Mid-range shot, a little long on that one. First miss
little heat check.
A little heat check. Kick back out. Shot clock getting low. Wang for 3, and that misses everything, so will be a shot clock violation against the Surrey Scorchers. 4.5 minutes to go here in the first game. It's a tight game. We'll be right back after this break. back to Sheffield, where it's RJ Rock against everybody else at the minute. He's got 7 of his team's 9. Surrey matched him with a combined 7. And, well, you would say that it feels more like a Sheffield game than a Surrey game right now, but still very much in the balance.
Yeah, and if we know Surrey well, they're going to play down to the very last second. Andrew Lawrence in the game as they turn over the ball.
Good deflection to force that pass astray. Jamieson trying to back down Cook, standing his ground, hooks it in off the glass.
And the bank is open.
Yeah.
To 7:30. Why not?
Cook wants it down low. Here he is. Can he get it back against Jamieson? Resets. No way of moving him. Nixon with late shot clock to deal with. Fires up the 3 with a hand in his face and knocks it down.
Yeah, that looked good. Great rotation. With the clock running down, needed to get it up.
Bailey's going to fire the 3. That one rims out. Cook with the rebound.
It's the right shot, though.
Definitely a confident-looking shot.
Yeah.
Straight off the bench.
Oh, Green lost it in the offense. It's wide open.
Rock attacking. Cook with the offensive rebound. Finds a little room and drops it in for 2. Bonus coming for Bennett Cook.
Really good job. You can see him, he's out of breath, he's working hard. Gets the rebound here. Idle Rock having a little dance, but flashing. Cook comes in and the 1, so he'll go to the line. And then there's the 3 with the shot clock running down.
Well, Sheffield not necessarily renowned for their offensive rebounding. Second last in the league in that category. But Bennett Cook gets some second chance points on that occasion. They are last in the league in that category as well, obviously. Here's Lawrence. Steele in the corner, catch and shoot. Off the back iron, and Pipkins able to keep it in play. Cook setting the screen, rolling to the basket. He was open for a second, but Jamieson's recovered. Here's Cook on the 3-point line. Skip past to Nixon. Well, it's a difficult shot at the end of it. I thought he passed up an easy one for a hard one, but he made it.
Yeah, he did. And from that angle, you can see he's oozing with confidence.
Good
Contact.
Nichols deflecting that away. Sheffield with the last 8 points of the game to take what was a 9-all tie. See, I thought they'd shoot it there,
Yeah.
but he put it on the floor.
I would agree with you, Coach Routledge.
Wow.
No?
As long as you score, it doesn't matter, I guess.
Fair. Surrey really need to score here.
Lawrence trying to get the points in the paint, but that one's short. Chance for a double-figure lead here for Sheffield. Glasgow recycles it back up top. Pipkins trying to get it to Cook. It was a tough pass from that angle.
Yeah, really hard. Not enough space to make that pass.
Cooper back to Wang. Into Jamieson. Spinning into trouble. Nixon knocks it away from him. Glasgow is pushing, and Andrew Lawrence prevents the fast break with a foul.
Yeah, smart foul to slow the transition. They had numbers. Good little help down by Nixon, just slaps the ball away, and they're off to the races.
1:29 to go here in the first quarter, and Sheffield leading this one 17 points to 9. And you would say that Lloyd Gardner won't be too happy with the offensive output of his team. Just 9 points in this first quarter. They've only made one of their 5 3-point shots. They're a team that needs to be mid to high 30s to win these games.
Yeah, and I feel like that lead just broke open really, really quickly, didn't it? They went a couple of offensives just down, not getting the shot up, turnover. So Sheffield's done a great job putting the pressure. Like we said, they play fantastic at home, and they're proving me wrong right now, aren't they?
I wasn't going to mention it, Z, but they have had a pretty good start here, and they've done it in the ways that we've seen Sheffield do it. It's nothing out of their comfort zone, out of the ordinary for them here in this first quarter.
No, you're right, and all the guys are getting involved. You know, they're playing great team basketball. Glasgow Junior having the ball in his hand, getting cooked down low. It's definitely Sheffield's style of basketball, so you can't be, unhappy with that. We're calling them King Lions today, aren't we?
Well, we are. 500th league game for Atiba Lions. Of course, he started as a player coach.
Yes, he
for
did.
Sheffield.
Yes, there was a lovely article about him as well. That he started as a player coach. That must be so difficult, Dan, that you've got to be able to play and keep everything in order. I don't know if I could do it.
No, it's not one of those things. I know maybe Todd will get a chance to ask him at halftime. I know Rob was offered the opportunity to be a player coach in his first season, and he couldn't turn that down quick enough, as I recall.
But he said he would beat himself up, and I could imagine it's double the whammy if you lost as a player and a coach.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Cooper off the mark for 3. Although you could go out there and affect things. That's, I suppose, the one upside to it. Here's Delpesh down in the low block, looking to spin, and he's short on that one. Lawrence nowhere to go and ends up traveling with it. He's got his arms out as if to say, is there not a foul in there, ref? But the ref's not interested in that one.
Sheffield Sharks get another defensive stop.
Nichols is going to fire up the 3 off the mark. Steele to the rebound. Shot clock is off, so Surrey can get the final score. They sure need one just to get themselves in double figures for this quarter. Quellen for 3 off the mark. I'm not sure that was the best shot because it's way too early. You've given them an offense back.
Way too early. That's silly offense. You want the last shot.
Well, Nixon is going to take it. Nixon is going to make it. He's going to punish that poor shot attempt. Prentice Nixon coming off the bench and feeling it here with 8 points in the first quarter. Sheffield on top here in the Steel City. We'll have the second quarter right after this. Welcome back to Sheffield. Z, break this down for me.
Well, this shot goes up way too quick for me, and then they come down. It gives them enough time to just come into this three-point shot and give them even more momentum than they've got.
Yeah, it should have been Surrey taking the last. The clock was off, the shot clock was off. They should have took the last shot, and as a result, they've given up 3 and suddenly found themselves in a double-figure hole. But the problem is at this end of the floor, just 9 points. Cooper trying to get some on the board. He just 1 3-pointer so far. Sorry, 1 for 8. Josh Steele trying to get one. That's off the mark. Well, they're not going to stop shooting it, are they?
They're not. They lead the league in attempts.
They don't lead the league in percentage, I think it's fair to say. Nice pass, Delpesh underneath, but what an assist from Pipkins.
Pipkins knew exactly where Delpesh was going to be, dropped it.
Well, 52% against 25% on the field goals. You don't need to be a mathematician to realise the problem Surrey have got. And it's another turnover. Can Delpesh keep it in? Yes, he can. Nichols right down the middle. Delpesh on the offensive glass. Hustle plays at both ends of the floor for Delpesh. He recycles it out. And Glasgow, we've seen that many times, yeah.
Signature Glasgow Junior. And it's just pouring on. And this is the thing why I struggle with Surrey, Dan, is, you know, they've won 4 of the last 5, but the inconsistency this season, and this is where they start to show it. The threes aren't falling, and they've lost their rhythm. How do they come back? And there it is, driving to the rim and go to the line. But
well, a reminder that this game was tied at 9 points apiece with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. So Lloyd Gardner's team not scored for close to 6 minutes now.
Well, the cameraman's getting a good angle of Coach Gardner going up and down.
You can often tell how Lloyd feels. He's not one that hides it, is he?
And he has every right. I mean, 9 points in a quarter is just not going to cut it.
Well, they're finally into double figures and brought to an end that 15 unanswered points by the Sheffield Sharks.
This is the thing with Surrey. They play so hard the whole game, and then they can catch a streak on fire from the three-point line. So Sheffield just need to keep ticking over. Don't get too, you know, too excited about the lead. You've got to keep playing.
Delpesh got a little too far into the rim there, hit the bottom of the board. Gooden to Jamison. Just a touch behind him. Let's go with the transition 3. Those you have to make because you're not getting an offensive rebound. Nice spin. Oh, Jamison misses his own shot. He's able to save it off Delpesh.
I just think that's the struggle that they're having right now. Makes the $100 move and one, but that was the big block before that. Good timing. Here it is. Look at this. Lovely spin move on the baseline.
Well, if you are going to get behind, do it early, because you've got most of the game to chase you back, as Robin Kimball will tell you. You're able to come from a big deficit. They were 18 points down in the first quarter last week, Leicester. They actually were 23 points down early in the season. 22, was it, against Surrey? Something like that. Came back and won, so
it's possible.
Just got to give yourself enough time to do it. There is enough time, but Surrey have got to start making some shots. Here's Steele. There we go. That's more like it. Josh Steele hits his first 3 of the game.
Needed for sure. They just got to get some sort of offensive flow, don't they? They're just kind of out of sync.
Well, 2 of 11, not good enough. Because you wouldn't say 28 points is the end of the world against Sheffield after 13 and a half minutes. It's the 13 that's the problem right now.
Yeah.
Jameson backing down, spins. This time he's got the finish off the glass.
Yeah, and he growls for that one because he knows. And something. Let's have a look.
Oh, the referee. Did he step over the line?
I think so.
On the inbound. I think that's what referee Simon Unsworth was saying, but he's been corrected by Kate Unsworth there, I think, and it is going to be a Sheffield ball.
Well, they're a team too. You come together, and they're also family.
Indeed.
Yes.
Let's have a look. As Delpesh gets behind. Oh, they'll maybe just lift that foot up in time. You've got to have whatever foot is in contact with the floor behind the line. And if you got the other one up, that's okay. Here's Glasgow in the paint. And it rims down to good. Nichols gets his hand to knock it away, but Gooden keeps possession. Too much zip on that pass from Jameson.
And for me, you just need to take away the flash, the no look. You need to get that ball there and score it and just keep chipping away. But yet again, they turn over the ball.
7th turnover of the game for the Surrey Scorchers. Nixon down low to Green. Out it comes to Nixon. Shot clock getting low. Rotino fires up the 3 off the mark. Wang trying to use his athleticism to get to the basket. That's ricocheted out of bounds off Jameson, so will be a Sheffield ball. Well, Coach Gardner will think that his team have had some decent looks along the line, but haven't really taken them.
Yeah, definitely. They have, but, you know, what's important is that the ball goes in the basket.
Use the scoreboard to tick. Here's Cook. Long range toss from him doesn't go. Jameson double team comes and forces the turnover. Eichel Rock knocks it away. Green running it back, taking it right to the chest to Josh Steele for 2.
Fantastic defense, doubling down low and then out to the break. Green wants to foul.
Well, they're doubling them up here. It's 30-15. Timeout is called. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Sheffield, where Atiba Lyons is playing, or coaching, sorry, his 500th championship game, and it's going as well as he could have hoped. His team up 15, giving up nothing. His coaching career has been built on defense and grinding teams down. They've certainly been grinding this Surrey team down. 15 points in 15 minutes.
Yeah, his total is 289 wins, 210 losses.
Well, odds on 290 tonight, isn't it? In terms of the wins, the way they're playing. Here's Green for 3 off the back of the iron.
Jameson gets that rebound. He's second in rebounds per game in the league.
Wang getting into the key. Cook doing enough to prevent it. There's a foul there. It's on the floor.
And Jameson, he just, like the boys said, that he's just a workhorse. Constantly going after the ball here. Look, Wang crosses over and then comes up to the... could have been a foul, but look, Jameson again working hard to get the rebound.
The one thing you would say is maybe he was a little in the way there, so Wang's got nowhere else to attack, but he was able to keep the play alive, get the ball back. The basket didn't count because the foul was on the floor.
I really like
Shot clock getting low as Wang fires up, and he knocks down 3, only the third of the game for the Surrey Scorchers.
Well, just before that, I was going to say, I'm really liking Sheffield's defense, as they have like a second layer. If you get past the first person, somebody comes in and helps, but good job from Wang.
Well, Cook trying to bully his way to the basket there. Draws the foul. And he will go to the line for a bonus free throw. That basket will count. Converts his second three-point play of the night. He's got 6 points, 5 rebounds, couple of assists as well. Here's Lawrence. Gooden for 3. Rebound pulled in by Eichel Rock. Knocked away. And then we push it ahead to Gooden. Cook did well to get out of the way there and not draw the foul. That one's going to come back to Sheffield's possession.
Such a good job. Get the ball, but look, they don't give up, Sheffield. They get back, and you're right, Cook does a wonderful job just to deter him.
Well, Ramsey letting the ball roll so the clock doesn't tick. Sheffield looking to build on this 15-point lead. Inside to Cook. Again, trying to bully his way to the basket. Did he travel with it? Yes, he did. A little shuffle of the feet. And it's 33-18. Todd, what do you got coming up at halftime for us?
Oh, Dan, a lot to unpack here in the studio, Coach. You got a lot of things that have been driving you crazy.
Well, the defense for Sheffield's been excellent so far. We're going to take a look at that and how they've held Surrey to such a low number.
Kimball, what are you seeing and what do you like?
Yeah, I see some good individual performance out of some Sheffield players. Idlerock, Nixon have both had big impacts. Nixon off the dribble, 3 threes in that first quarter, so a couple good individual performances.
That's all coming up at the half. For now, we send it back to Sheffield and Dan and Azania.
Thank you very much, Todd. Looking forward to that, as I'm sure Rob Paternostro will be purring about what Sheffield have done, maybe less so about what Surrey have done against this Sheffield defense. Inside to Ogundenbi up top, and he can't knock it down.
They're getting good looks, Dan.
Yeah, they
Wide
have
open.
had some really good looks.
Yeah, so they go back to this 2-1-2 zone. Teo Ogundenbi fouls.
Well, reality of it is, you touched on it earlier, Zania. Surrey take more 3-pointers than any team in the league, averaging 31.5 3-pointers per game. They're on pace for that right now. The problem is they've only made 3 and they average 11, so they therefore should be somewhere around 6. That's just another few points on the board. Maybe it's a single figure game if they
hit a couple. And that's the thing about Surrey, they can get really streaky and red hot.
Lawrence is going to try his luck and he's going to knock down 3 points.
There it is. I do like the Eitel Rupp versus Teo combo there, the rookie versus the vet. Did like that matchup.
Jamison gets a hand on it. Well, if Eitel Rupp goes on to play as many British Basketball League games as Teo has, he'll have a pretty impressive career. Ramsey up top, halfway down, but rims out for him. Steele, a little hesitation, gets to the basket, and he might get 3 the old-fashioned ways. He takes the foul and the points bonus coming.
And what I love about that is the hesitation, because Cook has been coming over and helping the guard, but with that little hezzy, Cook goes back off and he's off balance. Good job still, because that's what's been so good for Sheffield's defense. He really exploited that with that hesitation.
Well, a timeout is called here in Sheffield. It's a 10-point game, and for all we talked of how well Sheffield have played and how much Surrey have scored, there's 1:08 to go here. If Surrey are able to close this down with the last 3-5 points of this half, then they've got a chance of being in a decent place.
Yeah, and I've said this multiple times. You can't sleep on Surrey because, you know, live or die by the 3-pointer. Sooner or later they're going to go in, and that's what they've been doing. For me, with Sheffield, they just got to stick with it. Don't get overwhelmed. But good game. I knew Surrey were going to start to come back.
Yeah, maybe Sheffield's scoring has slowed a little bit here in the later part of the quarter, and sometimes you get that big lead and you think it just sort of like you ease off a little bit.
Well, you made a good point. You've got the whole game to catch up.
Yeah.
So Sheffield, 10-point game, 1:08 left. I think if they can get a couple buckets here going in to halftime, you know, maybe up 12, 13 points, feeling good.
Well, that's the thing. In a 1-minute spell, you could easily get 5 points without reply, maybe even 7 points without reply. You put 7 onto Sheffield, it's 40 to 23. You put 7 onto Surrey, you know, it's a ball game, isn't it? Well, Steele can't convert the first one. I think the shot clock might have been a little late in going. Only a second late. We'll tick it off and go back underway. Nixon. Up top to Pipkins. Nice drive to the basket from Jalen Pipkins.
Sensational drive and hanging in the air to finish.
Ooh, Wang's pass is a little high, but Surrey able to keep possession.
Yeah, Wang's struggling to go against Cook.
There's Wang, close to the rim, laying it in.
Yeah, that's been the easiest bucket for him. Every time he's driven in there, Cook's closed him up and he's had to, you know, push the ball back outside. That's a good layup for him.
Well, the shot clock is on, but Sheffield can pretty much run this one down.
The 2-1-2 zone that I spoke about.
Ramsey needs to get it up now, gets it to Cook. Bobbles out for him, but tipped up in the air, and that will go for the Sheffield Sharks to cap a very good first half for them. Although, was there a timeout called there? No, it wasn't. It is, I think, halftime. Well, they just paused for a second like it was a timeout call, but it is actually halftime, and Atiba Lyons and his squad will head to the locker room with a 12-point lead and thoroughly deserving of that advantage.
Yes, very good, and managed to get one more bucket before halftime.
Well, let's get some halftime reaction. Prentice Dixon is with Drew.
Thanks, Dan. Prentice, that first half felt very businesslike.
No, everything's all business. I think we got to come out with a playoff attitude now to get in good position going into April and May. So everything's business from now on.
And I can see it in your eyes, perfect from the field. What did you see from the Scorchers defense that you were able to take advantage of?
Just take what defense give me. They sag off, just shoot it. They don't drive it, make a play for somebody else. Like I said, everything's business from now on.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Back over to you, the studio.
Thank you, Drew. It's the Sharks by 12 at home. We'll break it all down when we come back inside the studio here on Sky Sports. It's British Basketball League on Sky Sports as the Sheffield Sharks lead it by 12. Came out hot, jumped out to a 7-0 lead over the visiting Surrey Scorchers. Took a while for them to get their jump shot to start to fall. And the Sharks were just relentless from the outside, burying back-to-back threes. Got themselves a huge lead, but could they hold on to it? And then Patty Wang started to warm things up from the outside, back-to-back threes. As the Surrey Scorchers go on a bit of a run, Josh Steele with this drive, +1 to cut the lead back down to 10. And right before the half, the Sharks get a bucket to push their lead to 12. As we take a look at this game summary and the stats, Sheffield Sharks lead it by 12. Coach Rob Paternostro bringing along his captain, Kimball McKenzie. Coach Rob, this looked like it was going to be a runaway at first. Surrey hung around just long enough.
Yeah, Surrey hung around. When you look at those stats, though, the shooting percentage is really down for Surrey and 8 turnovers as well. So you're going to have to play better on the offensive end if you want to get a W tonight.
Kimball, let's talk about the Sheffield defense. It looked really good. And they kept them down, almost single digits for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a sticky defense. That's what they're known for. They're really in tune with their game plan. They're making things tough on Surrey. It looks like Surrey has some, fatigue out there. But, yeah, give Sheffield credit. They're doing a good job. You see here, locked in on the ball, forcing, dictating the ball handler where they want them to go, get a good contest, limit them to one shot, and they'll live with that. They've done a good job. This is what they're known for.
Yeah, and also, transition defense is always important for them. You see them back. Stop it here. You stop it here if you can. You see now, they're just not penetrating the defense. They're all back in position, able to stop them. Let it go. You can let it roll now. And you see here, moving as a unit. Good team defense. Put Wang on his left hand. That's solid there. Good decision. And then here, walling up, and you get the help from Nixon in there that turns into a transition opportunity. And I think coming into the game, they know that, Surrey's a team that has been shooting the ball really well on the perimeter. And I think they're a group that was really locked in from start to finish. Again, you see this possession here. They never penetrated. They just stayed on the perimeter, a hoist, prayer for a three. And that's why Sheffield's doing such a good job holding them to a low number. Again, post up. Here's a double. They see the mismatch. That's excellent. They're reacting to when they have the mismatches. All the team working together as one.
There has been some great defensive play by the Sheffield Sharks, but, Kimball, let's talk about Surrey's mistakes. They have not been crisp, especially in that first period.
Definitely agree with you. Again, we were talking about it. If we're Surrey, we're pretty happy to be down 12. Here's a point-blank hook by Jamison. I know he expects to make that. Yep. Little pass that results in a turnover. Those hurt. These are deflating plays. Perfectly executed play, just wasn't finished. So if I'm Surrey, I'm going in saying, hey, listen, we left at least 10 points on the board. We're down 12. Let's get this together. Here's another one. You're in transition, you have numbers, and you throw it away. So this is a team that can go on a run. Yeah, and I think we talk about the 8 turnovers, and here Wang, another one right around the basket. And, they look like a team that had a long trip up, and it took them a while to get going. But if you are Surrey, another blown layup there. But if you are Surrey, like we've said here, there's an opportunity to come back, and they closed the half pretty strong.
You know who didn't take time to get warmed up? Prentice Nixon. He came out firing. And Kimball, I'll start with you. Prentice Nixon, you have games like this. When you come out and you're just seeing the bucket, it just looks enormous.
Definitely, yeah. Look at him here. He had 9 first-quarter points. At one point, he had as many points as Surrey did. Tough shots, First one was off the dribble. Boom, off the dribble again. Here's another one that you're going to see. Off the dribble, tough shot that he makes. So, yeah, give him credit. Bam.
And I think if you're Surrey there, you watched him take those tough shots already. So that third one, I think you have to guard. But when you got a guy making shots off the dribble, that's as tough to defend as anything.
Wow, R.J. Idlerock, another player that Drew Lasker talked about in the pre-show. He looked very good. Do you expect more of the same from him, or do you think they go a different direction in the second half?
I think with R.J., he lets the game come to him, and the game came to him early on. We talked about maybe he's not the quickest guy, but quicker than you think. And I think what you like about him when he gets a step on somebody is he has that strong body to be able to take advantage. But here, look at the double team come down from Surrey. R.J. says, thank you. That's a wide open shot. I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, good individual performance out of him. Here, boom, nice cross over to the layup. He's looked good, and yeah, he's a crafty player. Not necessarily the fastest guy. Shaking and Bacon misses this one, but puts Bennett in a position to go and get that offensive rebound. He's being good scoring the ball for him.
I just feel smarter running with the brain trust of the Leicester Riders right now. Good for me. It's halftime, the game between the Sheffield Sharks and the Surrey Scorchers. The Sharks lead by 12 points. We'll be back with the second half right after this. Welcome back to the British Basketball League, live on Sky Sports and across the USA. It's halftime in this crucial championship encounter between the Sheffield Sharks and the Surrey Scorchers, and the score is 37-25. The second half is just moments away, but before that, it's trim time. Let's take courtside cuts with Sheffield Shark Kipper Nichols.
When did you get into basketball? Like, what got you into basketball?
Man, like my mom, really. Tell you.
Give me a second. Cue violin. Right now, go. Carry on.
My mother. It was a rainy day, much like this one. And now, I mean, she just brought the little Tykes hoop. I was kind of fascinated with the whole thing, and I took off running with it, man.
How does it feel like making that sacrifice?
It can be tough. You know, I'm glad we got iPhones and FaceTime and stuff like that. You know, yeah. I can't imagine, like, back in the day, right? Dudes go over here, they can't even lay eyes on your people. But at the same time, I feel like I'm semi-used to it, just because you know, you go to college and it's like you barely get breaks, you barely get to be home.
And it's not easy being away from home in North America. What's been the hardest thing for you, the transition-wise, being here in the UK?
Yeah, I mean, first off, easier to come to the UK than some places in Europe. English speaking, that was big for me. But I'll say takeout food. When I'm back in Canada, I feel like I have so many options. Chipotle, Wendy's, you know, I can go down the list. So when I feel like eating out, it's a little easier. When I'm over here, it's like, really, what do I want, a pizza or a kebab? That's really my only option. So,
Coach, you've been here a long time. How about you?
Long time. As long as he said, you know, remember when we didn't have the phones? He talked about that. I was here for that. We should just go out more, to be honest with you. We have nothing to do at home. But for me, it was the drinks, like sport drinks. We didn't have enough Gatorades over here and stuff like that. I was so used to, after practice or playing, having one of those. It was a real tough decision on what I was going to drink.
I still haven't figured out mushy peas or cricket, so we got a little bit of work to do. Next Sunday is the All-Star Game. Kimball, are you looking forward to playing it, and what makes it so special?
Can't wait. You know, to suit it up alongside all these guys I've been competing against, as well as my teammates, Teddy Allen and Jaron. Yeah, very excited. There's going to be a lot of talent out there. It should be a really good event.
Coach, you'll be with me, part of the commentary team. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to see a lot of great ball.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm putting the challenge out there. Play hard, guys. Let's have a great game. Let's play some defense as well.
The Atiba Lions and the Sheffield Sharks are halfway home to defending home court and a victory. Moments ago, he caught up with our Drew Lasker.
Coach, what did you like about that first half?
I thought we played a solid job on defense again. Offensively, that second unit actually put a lot of energy. They shot the ball well. So it was a good kind of overall team effort.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thanks a lot.
Second half from Sheffield is set to get underway. We hand it off to Dan and Azania with the call.
Thank you very much, Todd. Yes, indeed. That second unit that Atiba talked about, they made 9 of the 16 shots that Sheffield made in that first half. And that certainly, Nixon in particular, gave them some life off the bench.
Yeah, 10 points, and he went 4 from 4, 3 rebounds. And I liked his halftime report with Drew, just talking about their all business. And you can definitely see this with this Sheffield crew. They're locked in, they're loaded, and they know how important this win is for them.
Well, I feel like it's an important few minutes for that man and his team. If they're going to get themselves back into the game, this is the moment, really. Start of the second half, down 12. You've got to win the first 5 minutes here, I think, Surrey. Rotino down to Green. Green spins baseline and gets an easy lay-in.
Really good job. Mohamed was looking for the double team or some sort of help, but opened it wide open for Green.
Well, that's the thing. You never know if it was meant to be there or not, but it certainly was. And Mohamed for 3 knocks it down.
By the looks of his face was saying, where's my help? Good job answering right back.
Rotino out to Cook. Oh, that's an unfortunate one for Surrey, because Gooden was called for a foul off the ball on the baseline just before they stole the ball away. So they had a chance to run there, taken away.
And The shot clock was under 10, so it gets reset to 14.
Short on the shot is Ramsey. Mohammed. Cross court to Gooden. Sheffield do well there to switch around some mismatches. Oh, miscommunication there, pass straight out of bounds.
Wang says, that's my fault, I was getting ready to move on.
Idle Rock into Ramsey. Idle Rock lobbing it to Cook. Nice pass.
Perfect pass. And you know what's incredible is that how much the ball is in Idle Rock's hands now.
Yeah, he's definitely a decision maker on the team.
Don't really have a true point guard, but he's gone into that position.
Well, he's trying to feed it to Cook, and that's out of his reach and out of bounds for a Surrey ball. Here's a better look from Idle Rock to Cook.
Yeah, good decision. You can see he had his eyes up looking at that little trap. Get the ball up where only Cook can catch it.
Wang shaking and baking, gets the shot away. I don't know if Retina got a bit of that, but it fell short for sure. Ramsey forcing his way through the hole, and there's Cook to clean it up for two.
Really good job by Cook, sticking with it. With Jameson going to help, there's nobody to box out Cook.
Rebound number 7, points number 10 for Big Bennett Cook. Nice pass, and Idle Rock coming along the baseline commits the foul. Probably a smart foul in that situation because he was spinning to the basket. It's almost a certain 2.
Yeah, there's his little stat line right now, 10 points, 7 rebounds. Good line. He'll head to the bench to get some well-earned rest.
Jameson going to the free throw line, and part of the reason why it's a good foul is Jameson's a sub 60% free throw shooter, so it's not a guaranteed to. Whereas the points are almost certainly going in if you don't foul him.
Makes the first. And Coach Gardner.
It's the thinker there, wasn't it? He was in there.
The little bit of thinker and yet again my team stressing me out.
Yeah, stressing. He does make both of them there. Life is not easy as a British Basketball League coach. I think Lloyd Gardner portrays that as well as anybody.
Full court press for Surrey, picking up their defense. And then dropping into this zone 2-1-2. They've been loving.
Pipkins for 3. Got to find the shooters out of the zone.
Pipkins does so many things for the Sheffield team.
Gooden trying to get the points back. Oh, that one's in and out, but there's Jameson on the offensive glass with the putback.
Jameson doing what he does best.
7 second chance points for Surrey off 7 offensive rebounds. Sheffield doing a better job in that category right now. Here's Green. Off the mark. Rebound Mohammed. Nichols, nice pass, rolling to the basket for the two-handed jam. It's Green.
Finish. And it's funny. Sheffield shoot the three and the steal. Nope, gets it back. The Sheffield shoot the three and then they come out of that zone and they go man to man.
Defense scrambling a little bit. Gooden gets the three away. They couldn't catch him.
Doing a good job though, just taking their time, playing what Surrey give them.
A little bump there from behind by Gooden. We can't come to Sheffield without checking in on Mike Tuck. How is he, Drew?
Well, I think he's doing all right in retirement life. Mike, big game for both of these teams, 6th place on the line. What have you seen here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's a grimy, gritty game, very defensive. Both teams not shooting the ball particularly well, but that's what it is right now. These are both teams fighting in the middle of the pack. We're at the business end of the season. You know how it is. Every game kind of turns into a playoff game at this point.
And speaking of that, how does the mindset change when you get to this part of the season?
This is, you got to put on your work boots. You got to grab your lunch bucket. Every game you're showing up to work. You got to get the job done. All these teams, all these games really add up down the stretch.
And finally, I hear you got a special guest in the house, someone who helped build this building.
Definitely. We got Cannon Medical in the house tonight. The managing director, Mark Hitchman, sitting courtside. They were big help in getting this building off the ground and such a big help in all the community work that we do. So had to give him a shout out tonight.
Hey, Dan, I think he's doing all right. He looks good. I think it's the hot yoga. Thanks for your time, Mike.
Thank you.
His job there, didn't he? Giving the right people the shout out, that's for sure.
We love some Mike Tuck. Sheffield legend.
Well, through the lane goes Ramsey, and it's another easy one for Green inside. And Surrey in a little bit of trouble once again. Down 15. Timeout is called. We'll take a break as well. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sheffield. Lloyd again, head in hands. Team down 15 here, but you can feel it. You can see why he's like that. It must be frustrating when you got this team that relies so heavily on the three. They're not really making them. Yeah. They've scored 35 points in 25 minutes. It's tough.
Yeah, and he spoke about the top of the game, talking about, we've learned how to win, we've learned how to play together, and right now that's gone out the window. It's really that kind of inconsistency and where they had been playing so well. So I think that's why he's just frustrated.
Yeah, you know what frustrates his coach even more?
What?
You call a timeout, you draw up a play, you get called for an offensive foul.
Yeah.
Turn the ball over.
So somebody needs to bring him a cup of tea or something on the sideline to cool him off a little bit. But Sheffield, 21 bench points to Surrey's 3.
Surrey's 3 is one shot from Lawrence, and Nixon has been leading the way. Pipkins has added into it, but they've had a lot of different scorers off the bench. Green fouls Jameson, but he'll have to shoot 2 as he can't finish it.
We go inside to Jameson. I kind of like this matchup between Jameson and Green. Strong versus strong. Green just gives him that last bit of bump and sends him to the line for 2.
Well, that's the thing we were kind of talking about earlier. Rob was talking about what Green can do down in the low post at the other end of the floor, but they can obviously match him up against Jameson. Cook comes back in, presumably he'll now take Jameson. So they've got different options to throw at.
Different options and different looks.
Yeah.
You know, you've got Strong going against Jameson with Green, and then you've got Long, good timing with Cook. Has to, his shot selection changes. He then starts to shoot hooks over Cook and goes Strong down low versus Green.
Well, it's going to be an offensive foul there for the hold. Well, they need something to get them sparked here. Surrey Scorchers. As, well, hopefully one of the future names of British basketball. Nedas Cherlovinskas. Bright things expected of him, and we have seen this now under Lloyd Gardner, obviously, and Dan Clark, the general manager, looking to try and develop young players and get them out on court, the next generation of British basketball players. It's good to see.
I think it's important. It's another good slashing move by Josh Steele. So, you know, strong and great at. But you're right, the young grassroots up and coming, it's so important that wherever you can, even in a game, get them in the game, but also practicing, playing with vets like Teo. There's so many things you can learn and just be from being in that environment of being a pro. So good for him. There he is. And you never know, if this game gets out of control, maybe you throw him in there.
Well, minutes have to be earned, of course, and it's one of those things that every chance he does get, and we've seen Luka Kasiemi earlier in the season getting some good minutes, and even Bailey, what Bailey has done this year, coming into the Surrey team. And you've got to produce when you're out there, because it's still about winning games ultimately. Nixon's going to fire up a tough 3 off the mark. Jameson there for his latest rebound. Number 10 for him. So close to a double-double. He might go. He should have got it there. He's short on the points, but he should have got it there.
Well, that's the difference maker, Cook is. Just the length bothers.
Nice. That's a tough finish there. As Pipkins picks himself up off the floor.
Huge finish. Fading away. That's a really difficult shot.
In the corner, Steele. Right, battle for the rebound there. Referees are just going to have a look and see that they both agree with the same call, and it's 25. The number shown to the table, which is Bennett Cooks. Well, I think Bennett had a different view of that.
They were both battling, weren't they?
It's 2 big guys battling away, who knows?
I think that's a no call, maybe, because Jameson has the inside position.
All you bigs employing the dark arts.
All you bigs, who are you talking to?
Are you not one of the great bigs of your generation in British basketball? Did I miss that?
I'm a lady.
You knew the dark arts down there, Z. I know that.
No, you're right. But that was great positioning. Pushing out Cook, giving him more space to rebound.
Well, Sheffield Sharks still looking pretty comfortable in this one. 52-37 they lead. Wang got... Oh, I thought Wang got a little deflection on that, but maybe he didn't because it's gone the other way. We'll just apologise momentarily for the clock. We're trying to sort out our little issue with that, but you can see it on the scoreboard. 2:23 to go. Wang turns the corner, a little hesitation, gets it into Jameson. He's just not finished enough around the rim today, has he?
No, he doesn't get his eyes on the bucket quick enough for me.
Nixon certainly has finished a lot today. He's 5 of 6 for 12 points.
And I know this sounds silly, but when you can get your eyes and your head up to the rim quicker, it's Cooper, to shoot at the same time Jameson is he's struggling.
We talk about Sheffield's defense, and one of the things that kind of goes unnoticed is a play like that. Quinn Cooper got a shot away, but Glasgow was right there on his hip.
Yeah.
So it wasn't an easy shot, and you know Quinn Cooper is just a microwave guy. He can suddenly, if one goes in, 4 can go in. And you've got to be right there, make it a difficult shot for him, and that's exactly what Glasgow did.
And he's not had an easy look.
No, he's not. Pipkins gets a good look, and he knocks down another triple.
Well, like Tuck said, they got their work boots on, don't they? He said lunch bucket, but what's that? Lunch box, you mean?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of metaphors there.
Okay, must be a Canadian thing.
There's Pipkins again for 3. Take a lot of food in your lunch bucket.
In your bucket, yeah.
Final minute here of the third quarter. It's another third quarter that's gone the way of the home team thus far. Coelho, we've not seen much of him today. Gets the offensive rebound and the soft touch.
Needed to stop the bleeding.
Nixon inside to Nichols, slightly off balance. Wang pushing, has men in the corner. Drop back to Overquello. Good pass from Lawrence.
Good transition. Probably their easiest bucket this evening. They had multiple bodies running at the rim.
Oh, shot clock is off, so Nixon is just going to run this one down to the end of the quarter. Nixon into the key, floats it up too far off the mark. Lawrence might have to heave from 3/4 court. Well, I don't think he got it away in time. He didn't go in anyway. Well, Atiba Lyons and his team still in control of this one in Sheffield. We'll have the fourth quarter after this break. Or come back to Sheffield, where Malik Green is leading the way with 12 points for the Sharks, but they've spread the load very well today. Starting the final 10 minutes. Is there a run left in Surrey? Coelho's going to try and start it with 3, but stolen away by Wang. And the foul goes against Green. So that will get the Scorchers the ball back. Not a bad return from that, but only if they get some points out of it. Well, that pass only just made its way to Wang. Pipkins thought he might get a steal in that, ended up committing a foul.
Yeah, that was a good job by Wang, seeing that he couldn't move, so he just drove. Well done from him to cause the foul, but does certainly have one more push in them. Very tough.
Dengby up top, Cooper. Finally, he gets a little bit of a sighter at the rim, but that one's short. Another offensive rebound. Kind of need some points now, don't they? 40 seconds with the ball. Got to score. And again. And finally, Gooden rattles it in.
Well done, Surrey sticking with it. 3 possessions. But they're leaving them wide open, really baiting Surrey into shooting a 3. Not shooting a good clip.
Problem is, if it takes 50 seconds to get 2 points, there's not enough time left in the game.
Very true.
Dengby down the lane, lays it in. Well, it's down to 10. Sheffield had led by as many as 18, and that's given Surrey a little bit of life. And Sheffield call a timeout. Well, we are very close. Coming soon, the All-Star game.
The game of basketball requires a high level of concentration, advanced physical skills, and a deep knowledge of strategy.
It's also an unbeatable fast. That's what I'm talking about. Nothing beats unbeatable basketball. Get it, boys. Nothing beats high flying dunks. Nothing beats 3-pointer from deep. Wow. Woo. Nice. Nothing beats selecting your favourite players from the north and south. Nothing beats the best basketball entertainment. Watching the UK's best ballers. The sickest skills in the UK. It's the All-Star Game, baby. Unbeatable All-Stars. March 17th, London Copper Box. Woo!
A week on Sunday for that. Azani, you're on the bench, aren't you? You're reporting, reporting.
I'm never on the bench, like the bus is coming down. Yes, I am. I'm changing roles. I'm going from a commentator to a little sideline report, but more just fun in the action.
Well, here's a terrible mistake. That's cost them 3 points. They've inbounded the ball and thrown it straight to Gooden, who's found Ogun Dengby, and that's a perfect timeout response from Surrey. Well, that was a bit of an all-star 3-point shot there, wasn't it, for Ogun Dengby? Is Cook to the running hook. It doesn't go. Here we go. Here comes Surrey. We asked if they have one more run in them. They've got the first 7 points of this quarter. 7-0 start. There's an offensive foul called off by Ogun Dengby. You can see Nixon just wasn't quite ready. And Gooden was, and so too was Teo.
Yeah, Gooden came in and creeped in and stole the ball. A little sneaky. Coach Lyons not happy with that. Cameraman's been on guard now all game, hasn't he?
Well, his team have scored the last 11 points. You wouldn't know it looking at Lloyd Gardner there.
But this is it, and that's what I told you about Surrey, what they're known for. They're going to play 40 minutes hard. It doesn't matter, you know, how many points they're down. They're always going to go to the very end.
Ramsey for 3, back behind. Sheffield still without a score here in the fourth quarter. Wang, oh, that was the right play. I don't think Oberquella quite rolled in the right direction. That's certainly what Wang looks like he's saying.
Yeah, he's just saying, go harder. Sheffield, lucky for that not to be executed because he was going to be wide open.
Yeah, it could have been a 5-point game if that is caught and finished, as it probably should have been. Ramsey. Heitelrock. Suddenly the shots are not easy to come by for Sheffield. Still they haven't scored. 3 minutes have passed in this fourth quarter. Gooden. Oberquella for 3. Off the mark. Problem is, if he's out there shooting threes, who's getting the rebounds?
And he needs to know his role and his lane. That's not his shot for me. And he was just waiting to shoot that 3. Get under the paint. Get it under the basket, excuse me.
Foul on the floor against Quinn Cooper.
Still on a donut, Dan.
Yeah, no.
Not had any.
He could easily finish with 15, though, the way he plays.
Very true.
Here's Green. Tough shot. Good defense from Mogan Dengby. He gets the rebound, but there's a foul on it by Oberquella. Just shifting Cook out of the way.
Teo's doing a good job on Green. Just staying solid, staying in between him and the basket, keeping his hands up.
Well, I think he was too busy complaining about a 3-second violation to actually try and get the ball. Green. Still won't go. Sheffield still yet to score in this quarter. Almost 4 minutes gone now, and they haven't scored.
The door's open for Surrey. They've got to take every possession here. They can't afford to go empty.
Oh, goodness. No, he saved it. Diving on the floor to save it. Somehow gets it away. Oberquella, I don't know what that was. How did Surrey get points out of that?
That needed to be added, the music. Didn't it? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
They just tapped the ball around.
Well, forced home by Heitelrock. And Sheffield have their first score of the fourth quarter.
Coach Lyon says, finally, we get a bucket. And it was needed because Surrey was putting the pressure on. They're just having a little chat, aren't they? And we saw at the start of the show about how, you know, both of these teams have gone at it. Tempers have flared, and it's kind of like a little, you know, rivalry. It's pretty difficult to play each other multiple times. Last time, right? This is
this is the fourth, and of course, if Surrey could find a way back in to win it, they could win the head-to-head because there's only 1 point between them on the points difference. Obviously, if Sheffield win, it's 3-1. And the head-to-head is important because if the two teams finish level, that will be the thing that separates them in the standing. They've reset the clock by accident there. Didn't hit anything, and it fell into the hands of Jameson. So the referees have got to work out how long should be left on the shot clock. It wouldn't be much, that's for sure.
That's a shot that Wang knows he needs to score. Wide open in the corner. keep putting the pressure on. Sheffield just airballs it.
I think they're going to go with 1 second on the shot clock. Well, it was being counted down. And obviously it didn't hit the ring, so as soon as he catches it, there couldn't have been long left. Oh, 10 they've given them. So 10.
Can't be. It's 1 second, no?
It's into, oh, it was 1. It was 1.0, not 10. My mistake, sorry. But they missed the shot anyway, and Sheffield get it back. Good. Back to Eitel Rock. Put the ball on the floor. Pump fake gets his man in the air. Tough shot, RJ Eitel Rock. Well, Sheffield have regained the momentum here. It's a 9-point lead. Can Surrey come again? Find out after this break. Welcome back to Sheffield. A big bucket from Eitel Rock has stretched it back out to 9. Surrey trying to claw their way back into a game they've basically been consistently behind in. Oh, and that's not the way to do it, is it?
Theo knows it. As soon as the ball came and mishandled it.
Ramsey. Foul called off the ball on Wang with his hands on Ramsey, and Surrey over the limit, so that will be 2 free throws. Sorry, it was Eitel Rock he fouled rather than. You can see Eitel Rock coming across the free throw line. The arms are locked up.
Yeah, and he was saying Eitel Rock hooked him as he came through.
I've seen that argument recently.
Yeah.
I got hooked, ref.
It's a smart play as an offensive player.
Somebody in our studio last week got called for an unsportsmanlike foul, was arguing. He got hooked. Kimball wasn't happy as he marched off to the locker room. Are we allowed to mention that? We're far enough away.
Yeah, he's not going to get us.
He's not going to get us. Here's Ogundengbe. Back to Lawrence. Shot clock getting low. Long 2 from Lawrence. Did that hit the ring? Well, it was up in time from Jamieson. But they had that run at the start of the quarter. They had a couple of chances to get it down to 4 or 5, but
struggled to score again, really.
Well, Wang on the trail, it's batted away. Ognembe in the corner knocks down the 3. It's down to 8.
A good job from Surrey, just sticking on the offensive boards. Sheffield not going to get it after one tough shot.
Well, it'd be a real smash and grab if Surrey somehow pull this out, having trailed the whole game. Ramsey in close, can't finish.
There's the offensive rebounds for Scorchers, 14. That's really the answer, how they've come back into this game.
Lawrence, Gooden for 3, doesn't go. 8 for 31 now from behind the arc. Now Green's lost it. Shot clock needs to go up. Green beats the buzzer and drops it in for 2. And that will force a timeout here. 10 points separate the teams. 2:25 to go in the ball game. Ollie Gardner trying to find some way to come back from this. Well, European action this week for British Basketball League teams. London Lions played last night against Turk Telekom of Ankara. And London really came out flying, got up early in that one, you can see. 60 points by halftime, really great, fluent offense. And, well, the Turks, no match for a rampant London team. And London, the first team from the British Basketball League to make the quarterfinals of the Euro Cup. They will go to Romania next week, where they take on UBT Cluj-Napoca in that one. Cluj obviously a higher seed, so they get the home advantage. But it's a single elimination game. London have played really well on the road in the Euro Cup this year, so you've got to give them a decent chance of beating Cluj.
Yeah, and like you said, it's win or go home, and I think they know it. They had a nice little camp together in Portugal, which really has gelled them even further. And I wish them all the luck. I think it's huge opportunity for them. But I'm excited. Also, the women.
The women's team won by a point against Ray of Venice in their first leg. That's an aggregate system, so they will come back home. Bristol are currently playing in ENBL playoff action. They're down 5 in the last minute of that game, but that is also an aggregate game against Šiauliai of Lithuania. So the second leg still to come in. That Wang thought for a second was his protestations might get him an extra punishment, but it is just a foul and 2 free throws. Well, he tried to sneak in from the side and wasn't sneaky enough.
It's done enough, really. Even with this massive push from Surrey, they've really had, you know, I felt like most of the control of this game.
And you say, well, 11 points in 2 minutes. You've seen it happen in many a basketball game, but it doesn't tend to happen in 66-55 games. It's a nice pass, and Wang lays it in. They need an explosion of offense that we haven't seen to this point, Surrey.
Sheffield are doing such a good job using the time. It's their best friend right now, running their offense, the whole shot clock.
Well, they are usually pretty effective, and Ramsey there. He's had a rough shooting night. That's his first made field goal of the game, but an important time to hit it. Lawrence for 3. Did he get caught? Yes, he did. Rotino fighting over that, and Lawrence beating him into the foul. He'll shoot 3.
Tino fighting, and he's just up under him. Just a little bit of a, you know, hit, but you can't touch the shooter. He would want the same call.
Exactly, yeah. Well, these are must-makes here with 1:28 to go in the ball game. All three of these have to go in for Andrew Lawrence. And Surrey must get a stop next time down. Because Sheffield, as you say, they're going to try and take 20 seconds out of the clock. So you're getting the ball back with a minute to go. You need to be no worse than 8. No doubt that Lawrence was going to make all 3 of those. Little full court pressure. Oh, they need to get it over. Just avoided the 8-second violation, although I think Coach Gardner had a different view of it. The ball has to be established in the front court. It's a technical foul on Lloyd Gardner. The ball has to be established in the front court for the 8 seconds not to be called. And the one thing I would say is, because this is a shot clock that goes into tenths, you have to see 15 on the clock for 8 seconds to pass. I know mathematicians will say 24 minus 8 is 16, but you'll have to take my word for it on that one. It was close, that's for sure. It was close.
And if I'm going to believe anyone, it's you.
Thank you very much. Ramsey. He's under pressure. Shot clock getting low. Eichel Rock. Oh, that's a really bad place to foul there at the end of the shot clock. And he'll go to the line for 2. Saquon Jamison, the offender, he just seems to have caught one in the knee there. Oh, it was knee on knee.
Really good day for Little Rock.
You've got to start thinking about player of the game. It's not an easy choice here in Sheffield. They've got what have they got?
So many guys have played well.
5 players in double figures, is it?
Yeah.
It's a good performances. Nixon did well in the first half off the bench. Michael Rock's been pretty good. Green, Cook, nearly a double-double.
You're setting me up.
I'm just trying to help you out.
Yeah, well, Eichel Rock did come out solid. And there's the scores, and he scores those last 2 free throws. That's a good, solid scoring line for that starting 5.
It certainly is, and it's been something they've done really well. This is the upcoming schedule for Surrey, Manchester away, Newcastle away, then they come back home for Caledonia, and then another game away against Cheshire. And the reality is, you go on the road, it's harder to win, and you're going to need more than 60 points to do it in those 3 venues. Next up for the Sharks, they're away at Newcastle, then they've got home games against the Eagles and the Riders before they go across the Pennines to Manchester to take on the Giants. So not an easy slate of games for a Tiba Lions team either.
Yeah, Surrey's stint of games is tough. Both of these teams are going to have to really battle out as they sit in 6th and 7th. And I think these last couple of weeks is going to be really, I think a lot of changes are going to happen in the table.
Lawrence straight to the rim. That's the shot they want, but it doesn't go in. And with that, it probably goes their chances.
Yeah, to Sheffield, I thought they've done a fantastic job really controlling the pace.
Green back iron. Away comes Wang. Oh, and that is a big foul by Saquon Jamison. And it takes points off his team and will give points to Sheffield because he's just clattered. There's no need for that.
Yeah.
You've got to run back down.
Here it is.
Just watch him. He just
Gets
puts
in
an
the way.
arm out, knocks Ramsey over. He wasn't going to catch Wang anyway.
It's really silly, undisciplined, and just not needed.
Well, it's an offensive foul. Yeah, it was dangerous. It could have even been unsportsmanlike because it's not really, as you say, much of a play, basketball play. But also because it's an offensive foul, Sheffield gets to run the clock instead. And they will run it right down to the buzzer. And Green, well, he'll get a 24-second violation. It doesn't matter.
Gives him a turnover,
So, time to choose player of the game.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out though to Idle Rock. I felt like he's done fantastic. But I had made my decision before he made those free throws. But he had 14 points, Green, and he had 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Thought he's done a really good job where he's actually exploited Surrey's defense. Did very well down low, able to come out, shoot that 15-foot, can shoot the 3. Solid win from him, but also some great offense from Sheffield. A lot of guys stepped up today, so it could have been anyone.
Well, a landmark day for Atiba Lions' 500th championship game as the head coach of the Sheffield Sharks, and he's won it in relatively comfortable style, you would say. They got up early, and Surrey had 1 or 2 little blows at them, but Sheffield always looked the more likely to win that game.
And you definitely want to win your 500th game, don't you? You will never forget that one for sure. But you're right. I think they kind of led the way. They got out to that fantastic first quarter, really won them the game, where it put Surrey in a real hole and had to fight the whole game. And I felt the defensive plan, which, you know, Coach Lyons is known for his defense, but a really good job shutting down Surrey, and a great win from them.
Well, let's get some reaction from our player of the game. He's with Drew.
Malik, you win the battle for 6. Dissect that matchup for us.
It was a big matchup. It got tough down the stretch. We just grinded it out, and then it was a big one for us to get.
And you told me last week that you've been playing well, but you haven't been able to put together complete performances. How were you able to stitch a full game here tonight?
I think we've been doing good collectively, like everybody pitching in, and we just chipping away each day.
Thanks for your time. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Azania, they had their lunch pail, a.k.a. their packed lunch. Back to you, Todd.
All right, thank you very much, Drew, for that clarification. Gentlemen, let's take a look at the game summary, 71-62. So, Coach, you could say it was a great defensive stand by Sheffield, but it wasn't the prettiest of games.
Yeah, no, I mean, Sheffield has those type of games where they really grind you down. You look at Surrey, 8 for 31 from 3, 25%. That's down. 14 for 33 from 2, 42%. They really struggled to score, and the turnovers didn't help them either with 16.
Yeah, and then you look at the other side, Sheffield, really good from 2, 50%. And yeah, they did what they did. They grinded it out. They had 5 guys in double figures, contributions from the bench. So yeah, good to get a win for them.
Surrey got it close in the 4th period, but I think they're going to rue the day when they look at those turnovers, 16 turnovers. And once again, it was Sheffield getting off to a great first half start. Got a little dry, got a little slow in the 3rd, couldn't find their pace. But when the crunch time came, boy, they stepped up to the plate. This was the run, though. This was the point in the game where you thought, okay, Surrey may have something. Surrey may be able to claw back into this one. But in the end, just too many mistakes, too many empty possessions for the Scorchers. Sheffield's able to hold on once again, 71-62 with some clutch buckets like that one. And they get the win. Number 500, the 500th coaching game for Atiba Lions. And he does it in grand style, picking up the 9-point win. Coach Lyons, back here in our Sky Sports studio, congratulations, first of all, on reaching 500. But let's talk about this game. It wasn't the prettiest game you guys ever played, but your guys stepped up. What was the turning point for you?
I thought we had a great first half that gave us some room to make some errors in the second half. It was a good game for us, though. We had to grind it out. Surrey played some great defense. They were tenacious in the 3rd quarter, and we battled back to stop their run.
Mr. 500, congratulations. Rob Paternostro here in the studio. How'd you feel on that one? Looked like the second half, sweating a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I call you double OG now, though. You know what I mean? 500, double OG.
I think, Idle Rock, let's talk about him. We talked about him earlier. Let's talk about what he's done to the team. Now in the starting lineup, another 20-plus minutes from him today. Tell us what he does on both ends of the floor.
RJ's very deceptive, as you know. Maybe sometimes the eye test ain't there for him because he's not flying over the rim, but his decision-making, his shot-making ability, and he's not a liability. He's a good defender. He has good positioning, and he brings that just little IQ. He makes the right play at the right time and gets some easy assists for us.
Hey, Coach, Kimball McKenzie here. Congrats on 500 games and on the win, of course. 5 guys in double figures, I mentioned it. How do you balance that as a coach? A lot of depth you guys have, 10 players. How do you balance that?
It's always tough, it's always tough. I know you guys have the same thing over there in Leicester. You just got to play with your gut, really. I know Rob does it a lot. You got your guys you can rely on, but sometimes someone has it going, like Prentice tonight, and he took some other guys' minutes just because he was in the flow. So it's a little bit of that. You have to be a selfish teammate to win in this league, and these guys are all doing that.
One more for me, Coach. Where's the party tonight? Let it rip, please. Come on, nothing else left for the weekend. Where are we going?
To bed, to sleep. Got 2 little kids. You know how it goes. You've been there.
Coach, the Team Alliance, congratulations. We appreciate that time, and you can go celebrate with your squad.
Thank you.
Well, a great win. It's a 9-point victory, guys. They had a huge lead going into that first half. It looked like they're going to blow this thing wide open. Coach, I guess the big question is, what does the Team Alliance tell his team at the second half to say, guys, this thing is far from over?
Keep playing defense, and I think they did consistently play defense on the night. You could see what they held, and with Sheffield, they're such a good home team. We talked about it earlier, so they have confidence when they're at home. And you look at the other side, and Surrey really struggles on the road. So with all that, Sheffield felt good no matter what was happening in the second half.
Player of the game, Malik Green, he stepped up. He did a lot of the dirty work down low.
Yeah, he's made a difference for him. Since coming in, he's a tough matchup. He can bang inside. He can take you out to the perimeter. He was really active on the offensive glass tonight. I thought he did a really good job.
Where do you think Sheffield goes from here, Coach?
Well, they got to find a way to win on the road. I mean, that's have been their struggle. But I know they were on a tough run of form, but they've been scoring the ball better as of late, and just keep going. I think when you have that kind of depth, for the games it's great, but it's also great during the week in practice. See Green with the dunk there. They can go at it 5-on-5 with 2 good teams day in and day out.
Kimball, another guy that I thought could have been, and Azania talked about it, R.J. Idlerock, I thought he brought his A game tonight. I mean, talk about doing a little inside-outside. He was the man with the work pail.
Absolutely. We talked about him at the top of the show, and he had a great game. I think he came out and set the tone for them offensively, getting to the hoop a couple times. And, yeah, he had a really big shot late. I want to say it was 10 points. He had that little pump fake and a mid-range jumper to really tuck him away. So, yeah, he's been good. His game looks good and playing well.
Yeah, and I think they've played better since he's come into the starting lineup, and you can see that. But now it also, Idlerock can make plays, no doubt. But now the bench becomes stronger, too, with Pipkins and Glasgow coming off the bench. So Idlerock's play and his emergence in this starting lineup, I think has made him a more complete team.
Well, for Surrey, it's time to lick your wounds because they can feel sorry for themselves. They didn't have the game they wanted, but they got to bounce right back. Coach, in this league, there's no time to feel sorry for yourself.
Yeah, got to bounce back. I think, they got to find a way to win on the road. And, Coach Gardner's missing a piece tonight with Justin Robinson. He's been playing good basketball for them, good team leader. So hopefully they can get him back because they're better when he's not on the floor.
Speaking of upcoming games, let's take a look at the schedules as we look at the results. Sheffield Sharks get it done by 9 at home against the Surrey Scorchers. Coming up on Friday, we got a doubleheader. Newcastle taking on the Manchester Giants. And then Caledonia welcomes in the London Lions. That'll be a great game. That'll be on Friday night. Then Saturday, one single game. Cheshire Phoenix as they host the Plymouth City Patriots. Still looking for some bright spots. And then we've got a doubleheader on Sunday again with the Bristol Flyers welcoming the Leicester Riders. Making the trip out to Bristol, gentlemen. And then Caledonia, tough games for the weekend with London. And then they finish it off with the Newcastle Eagles to close out our coverage on the weekend. So the updated standings look like this. Sheffield defends home turf. They go to 13-15. There you see the Surrey Scorchers sitting in 7th place. Coach, I know you're crunching numbers. Where do you want to be with the playoffs getting so close?
Well, at the top, as far as you can go. Obviously, can't get the 1-2 stuff, but we want to just keep climbing the table. But more importantly, play great basketball heading into the playoffs.
Let's talk about the Bristol-Leicester tilt that's coming up, Kimball. I know you love these guys. I know you love playing against these guys. What's going to be the key for you guys to get the victory?
Yeah, tough place to play. They're comfortable in that gym. They're really good on the glass everywhere, but especially in that gym with the ball all over the place. We got to go in there and play good basketball, have good offense, good defense, play a good all-around game, and listen to what this guy says.
Captain hands it off to the coach. Coach, final thoughts. What do you think? What we saw tonight and for you guys going forward?
What we saw tonight is Sheffield can win ugly, and they're known for that. They can do that. And as far as we're concerned, we're looking forward to Sunday, and we're looking forward to getting to the business end of the season.
So that will wrap things up here on Sky Sports. On behalf of the captain, Kimball McKenzie, and the coach, Rob Paternoster, I'm Todd Harris. Once again, it's Sheffield that gets the win as they take down the Surrey Scorchers. We'll see you next week.